what do I want to run here? The Fundamentals of Caring. Stars Paul Rudd as Ben Benjamin, a retired writer who, after losing his son, takes this caregiver class and eventually he's hired as a caregiver for this young boy, Trevor, played by Craig Roberts. And Trevor has a form of muscular dystrophy, I believe. And eventually they form some kind of relationship, friendship, I guess, more than anything else. And eventually Paul Rudd's character, he's able to convince Trevor that he should get out of his house and see the world, see these different landmarks, because Trevor actually has this map which he marked with stickers and other stuff, which are just a bunch of like cheesy roadside attractions, but the ultimate final one that he wants to visit is this like really big, supposed to be like the deepest pit. So I guess it's kind of like the Grand Canyon, but I guess, I don't know, maybe they decided not to go with the Grand Canyon for this movie, because I don't know, maybe just because, Grand Canyon is featured enough. But it's essentially like the Grand Canyon, just not as big, but not as wide, but more deep. Yeah. But originally I assumed that this was going to be like kind of a like depressing kind of movie. But I was actually pleasantly surprised that it's a nice balance between drama and comedy, and the jokes that Paul Rudd and Craig Roberts hurl at each other back and forth, because eventually they get to the point where they actually insult each other, but it's not like, I guess for me it kind of reminded me of sometimes when I'm hanging out with some of my friends, and we hurl insults at each other, but not in a mean-spirited kind of way, just like poking fun at each other, just for laughs and whatnot. And so that's pretty much what Paul Rudd's character does in this movie. Him and Trevor, just hurl insults back and forth and play pranks on each other. And I don't want to give away too exactly, what things they say to each other, because I think it's better if, like, when you watch it for the first time, and some of it, like, for me, like, some of it I wasn't really expecting it, and so some of the jokes kind of caught me off guard, but then that's what ultimately made me laugh even more. And then, of course, Selena Gomez is in this as well. She plays this girl named Dot, she's like a hitchhiker. She's trying to get to Denver. And, of course, Trevor, he takes a liking to her. And at first, he's reluctant to ask if she needs a ride. But then eventually, Paul Rudd does ask her, and they help her give her a ride. And I guess she ends up becoming pretty much like Trevor's first love interest, I guess you could say. And another thing, I really like the acting in this. The kid who plays Trevor in this, Craig Roberts, I never seen him before. Or maybe I have. He does look kind of familiar, but for for me, this is like, I was surprised that, you know, he was able to pull off such a role in such a way that, you know, he didn't come off as like condescending or, you know, because I don't know, in the past I've watched every other movie that I watched that it happens to be about someone with some kind of disability. Usually to me it comes off as like they're trying to romanticize it or something. In this one, definitely they're not romanticizing being disabled, not at all. But at the same time, it is depicted in a way that, you know, kind of, well, for me, made me realize that, you know, just because one happens to have some kind of disability doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you gotta stay, what's the word, hold up in your home or something and like doesn't mean you have to completely shut yourself off from human interaction. So ultimately I feel like that's like the core message of this movie. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know what else to say without giving too much of it away. I definitely liked it. I do feel like maybe there'll be a lot of people out there that won't like it that much. But I don't know. I happen to believe that, you know, Hollywood or whoever, you know, somebody should make more movies like this, or in the same vein or something. Yeah, as far as the rating goes, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah. So I do recommend watching it, especially if you want to see something a little different, something that has a nice balance of drama and a comedy. And yeah, that'll do it for my review of The Fundamentals of Caring. Thanks for watching. As always, until next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.